Hello and welcome back to this episode of Clout is Not Currency podcast, where we have conversations on worth, value, and influence. I am your host, Blessing Makosha, aka Big Money B, because I'm focused on cheddar, I'm focused on cheese, and I don't let a bum chick get a touch up on me. Today, we are going to be talking about the queen of rap, Nicki Minaj, and her official return to music as a full-time recording artist. This has been Nicki's first official single rollout release since 2018 with her fourth album, Queen, and the streets are very excited to see the Queen back. So we're going to be talking about Nicki's rollout, what the thoughts and feelings are for this new era, and really what her new marketing and, debut of a new brand has to say about the current state of the music industry, the future of female rap, and just the trajectory for Nicki's relationship with her fans and future career moves. So stick around and keep listening to this podcast. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, then please like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. The algorithm has no love for the girl, so I absolutely rely on you guys sharing my content and spreading telling the algorithms that you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing. It's very important and it helps me a lot. And also, if you are listening to this podcast either on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or anywhere else, make sure that you follow the podcast, leave us a 5-star review, and tell the world why you enjoy listening to it. It's going to help me a lot. And without further ado, let's get into the rest of this episode. So on the 4th of February 2022, to the delight of fans, myself included, Nicki Minaj debuted Do You Have a Problem, her first single for the upcoming 5th album era, featuring Lil Baby, who is one of the biggest and hottest rap stars out right now. At the end of the song, Nicki teased a snippet of another track with Lil Baby called Bussin', and it's set up to be a double release. So to promo and sort of spread the word about this new album, this new single, Nicki did embark on an interview run with various radio shows and DJs, and it was great to see her just talking so candidly about this new era, where she's at mentally, where she's at with her artistry. And it was also really interesting because she said every Friday is gonna be a Pink Friday. So it's looking like Nicki is coming to step things up a notch in hip hop and give us a weekly release. And fans, including my followers on Instagram and on YouTube, have been sharing their thoughts on how similar this era feels to the Pink Print era. So that's when Nicki released her third album in 2014. So I wanted to talk about just the different reactions and comments that you have had about this song. And I wanted to give my comments back to that. There is a reaction video to Do We Have a Problem on the channel. That is my first time ever reacting to the song. I'm dressed up in my Pink Friday t-shirt being a Barb. So if you want to watch that, then just check that video out on my YouTube channel. And then also, I had a great conversation with another Barb and creator, Omalade, about Do You Have a Problem? And we gave our reactions and our perspectives. So definitely check that out after you're done with this podcast episode. So the reminiscence of this rollout, dropping a new song every Friday, has reminded fans of the Pink Print. And the Pink Print to me was very much like one of the most exciting times, because Nicki was going around remixing people's songs. That's when we got Danny Glover. That's when we got Boss Ass Bitch remix. We got No Flex Zone remix. And Nicki dropped some of her just most iconic tracks during this time. And it really gave, energy. And that's something else someone said. I am living. She's bringing the energy I need for 2022. Yes, that's very true. She is bringing such a high amount of content, and not just any old content, content executed at a really high quality. And I think that is really showing people that you know, that's what sets Nicki apart. Like, her content is actually A1, and she's got so much that she can keep dropping things. And I love that she feels more comfortable and more free. You know, I've been saying a lot on the No Ghostwriter series, which you can also find on my channel. That's where I have conversations about rap and hip hop culture. You know, I've been saying on No Ghostwriter that Nicki just needs to get to a place where she feels like she can rap again. And I feel like she started that off with Seeing Green, and now she's pushing that even further when she's dropping this every Friday, another release. Like, that is crazy energy for 2022. And I think coming out of, well, not coming out, we're still in, but, you know, navigating a pandemic, you know, we need something that brings us together. And I think Nicki is one of those artists that can really bring us all together and like give the energy that we need. And that's that sets her apart. Another really interesting and exciting part of this rollout is the fact that Nicki released a music video, and not just any music video. She released a 10-minute cinematic experience, and she wanted to give something different, you know, to just going into, you know, she said she didn't want to be busting it open. Like, you know, she wanted to give something just a little more elevated, a little bit different. And so she had actors from Power in there. So she had the gentleman that plays Tommy in Power. He played her agent or her colleague, and she was inspired by Angelina Jolie's Salt film. And you just see Nicki really in her acting bag. And I think Nicki has always been a dynamic artist. You know, it's not just the rapping. She's also a creative, you know, so she can act, she can sing, she does fashion, she does modeling, you know, there's all sorts of things that she can do. And as Ifani says on Instagram, love her new flows, love the execution of the music video, love that she's feeding us. Exactly. You know, there are so many things that Nicki's doing right now that are just showing this different kind of execution, and she's really pushing and feeding us with high value content. So shout out to Nicki. You know, it's really coming across that this era is supposed to be, you know, it's giving high budget. It's giving high budget, darling. On top of that, on the theme of high budget, you know, we did mention that Nicki did do all of these interviews. She was going around, I think she did at least 10 interviews and multiple live streams. But she also appeared on The Late Late Show with James Corden. And she also, after that, had a huge courtside basketball premiere for the song. And, you know, you had the cheerleaders, you know, she was sat courtside with her husband and her son, and you had the cheerleaders out there, you know, to Do You Have a Problem? And it just, yeah, it just gave, it was quite emotional actually. You know, they turned the whole thing pink. Everybody was shouting and cheering and, you know, being happy for Nicki and giving her the Queen's welcome. They gave her a monogram jersey that said Queen on. And I think, as Ifani says, that did make it different from the standard rollout. And I think with Nicki, because she's a legend, so I think this is why it's so different, because it's showing this is the kind of respect you get when you're a legend. Do you know what I mean? This is the kind of welcome you give a legend. I also want to shout out and mention that, you know, the rap girlies, they were out there, you know, they were supporting. You know, I've seen pretty much every rap girl like that's shown love to Nicki consistently, and not throwing shoes. They have been, you know, making videos to Do We Have a Problem. They've been, you know, just showing love, showing support. And I love that. You know, this is what you're supposed to give a legend when they release music. This is how you're supposed to respond. And I think it shows to people that This is what true love looks like. This is brand longevity, you know? This is what happens when you have invested in talent, in skill, in your ability. Why? Because clout is not currency. Okay guys, so before we get into the content, I just want to say a quick word to our sponsor for this episode, Surfshark VPN. So Surfshark VPN is a tool that I've been using for about 2 years now. And what it does is it keeps your internet activity safe on any device you use. So whether that is your tablet, your laptop, your iPhone, whatever devices that you use to browse the internet and conduct your day-to-day life, Surfshark VPN is going to encrypt that flow of data and ensure that no one can get either side of and see all of your sensitive contents. This is really important because we live pretty much all of our lives online now. I definitely do. I'm not just a creator, but I'm also a legal babe. So that means that I'm always using a VPN. I have to. I don't think there's any time I use any device without a VPN. And that's why it's really good and helpful to encrypt your data and keep your stuff secure. Another reason that it's good is that if you are geographically blocked from engaging or seeing a certain type of content, then Surfshark also has a location switcher. So if you, for example, usually live in England and you still want to watch all of the episodes of a particular show, but it's not available in the geographical area that you're in, you can switch your location and access that content. And so that's great as well for people who maybe need to be able to access social media or maybe need to be able to access certain communication channels, but they're not able to because of where they are. Obviously, please remember that there are specific guidelines that different streaming services, and of course there's different laws in different areas of the world. So please be mindful of specific legal policies, regulations, contractual terms that you are subject to. So if you're interested in trying out Surfshark VPN, then use my code BlessingMakosha. You'll get 83% off, your first 3 months free, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So for the price of a coffee, you can keep yourself safe and secure on the internet. So I want you guys to at least think about it, check it out. Link is in the description for everything that you need, and we're gonna get right back to the episode. So Ifani also says, love the Outback sponsor. So yeah, let's talk about that. So Nicki has this thing that she does where she might mention a brand or an artist or a celebrity in her song, and consequently, she will change the entire market and commercial outcomes for that brand or person. You know, she'll either make that person extremely relevant or make that brand stock and, you know, speculative value very, very high. She did that with the 2018 Queen rollout when she released Chun-Li, and she wore this scandalous Fendi monogram print bikini and thong and jacket, this little bolero jacket. And as a result, she ended up skyrocketing Google searches and sales for this Fendi monogram print, which then resulted in a collaboration with Fendi. And I actually have my Fendi prints on shoes. I'm looking at them right now. They're over there. But she had a collaboration with Fendi, you know, like the Fendi. They did a Fendi prints on collaboration. You know, they had Nicki's entire face on the covering it was amazing. And that was all a result of her saying Bentley tints on, Fendi prints on in Chun-Li. You know, that is what you call being an influential person. You know, Nicki's the OG influencer. Like, this is why as well, I always say, don't underestimate the fact that rappers are branders. They're extremely smart business people, and they know how to market. They know how to use, you know, their tags, their monikers, their fashion, and their bars. And this is really important as well. I think this is a great message for Clout is Not Currency, because it shows you that investing in your art allows you to do fun things like secure free Outback steaks for your son. So what Nicki did on this song is she mentioned, I don't care how long it take to get an Outback, all my hitters outside, steak bitch, we out back. So Outback Steaks obviously responded to Nicki and were like, okay, because Outback sells steaks, so it's a restaurant. So they responded to Nicki, and so Nicki responded to them and said, well, are you gonna give my son free Outback steak? And they said to her, yes. So now Nicki Minaj's 1-year-old son, Papa Bear, now has free Outback for the rest of his life. He's got a lifetime supply of steaks. And that's all because she mentioned that in her bars. And also, this reminds me, this is exactly what she did when she came back with Fractions. And she popped up in those pink Crocs. And as a result, sent the, everyone went and bought Crocs. Crocs sold out. That is what Nicki Minaj can do with her raps. And, you know, and she mentioned on Crocodile Teeth Remix, Skilly Bang's Crocodile Teeth Remix, she said, if it's a cornflakes, then I bring the Crocs out. Now Crocs are cool. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. So yes, that Outback, the sponsorship, all of that, like it makes it such a, it just gives that vibe, you know. It does feel like the Pink Print. It feels like, you know, things are just gearing up to having this just good energy, and the summer is about to go in. So yeah, I'm very excited. So onto your comments on YouTube. Mel's Glamour says she served, making the right moves and reminding people of how it's done. The main thing that's important to her is the connection with her fans. She keeps her ear to the ground and has eyes on most things. I think she wanted Queen to have this rollout, but she learned from that, and she is now enjoying the love and respect she enjoys with this rollout and not allowing any negativity to overshadow it. She's feeding her fans because she knows they've been waiting long enough. Queen Tings, would be great to get Billboard #1 and UK #1 on the official chart because her new sound goes hard and well produced. And that fits with what Ifani said about really enjoying the execution. Yes, so thank you for that comment. And yeah, you know, you are seeing, this is Nicki giving a masterclass. This is a masterclass from a legend at this point. And I think that once we watch and witness Nicki's work, we see that, you know, it's different when Nicki does it for a reason. I think then we can start to get back to what this culture is really about. And I think that, in my opinion, this culture is about integrity, it's about skill, it's about genuine passion. And I think Nicki's showing that she's still able to switch it up. You know, she's once again working with a small producer and, you know, helping put them on. I think Nicki doing all of that, I think, is a great indicator for us of what we should remember is important in our culture. You know, it's about those connections, it's about community, it's about integrity, and it's about how your music makes people feel. And I've definitely seen Nicki is confirmed for a UK Top 20 debut. So shout out to Nicki. I'm gonna make sure that I buy a few more copies and stream. But yeah, I really love the new production and it's going great. And Christine says, we love it. The Queen is queening, period. And we also have another comment. Love her adding the snippet of Bussin' at the end of Do We Have a Problem and referencing her old looks. Indeed, a Pink Friday. Exactly. You know, it is giving Pink Friday energy. You know, Nicki is really out there. So I think in conclusion, what I'm really enjoying about Nicki's return is the fact that she's in a very grounded and settled space. And I think because she's in this space, she is able to connect with her fans and just stay, we're just focused. It's like this focus, you know. She loves her fans, she gets energized from her fans, and we energize her right back. And I think as well, what is really great and what is standing out to me about her return this time is the industry support. You can really see, you know, Nicki's getting positions on playlists. She's actually, you know, getting a lot of interaction. And this is great because it follows on from her being included on the Hip Hop Mount Rushmore and all of that. And she's really enjoyed, you know, this Daps. And what a contrast to the Queen era. You know, what a contrast to when Nicki felt like her back was against the wall and she didn't have love in the industry. Now she's in a space where she feels like she's got more love than ever before. And on the topic of, you know, showing Nicki love, I think that one thing that we've sort of lost and forgotten in this clout era in hip hop is you are supposed to like your artist. You are supposed to feel moved by their music. I think everything's become about vibes so much that people are forgetting that, you know, passionate responses is exactly what hip hop is about. The origins of this culture, with it, if you couldn't get a crowd going, then you weren't it. You know, there was no excuse. You had to bring it. Your energy had to be correct. And that's what the culture is about. And I think Nicki is absolutely embodying that in such an incredible way. She lives it, she walks it, she talks it, and she's the GOAT. And it's an absolute pleasure to see her in her element. So yeah, shout out to Nicki. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Clout is Not Currency podcast. I hope that this episode inspired you to think differently about value, worth, and influence, and empowered you in some way. If you enjoyed this episode, then please make sure that you follow the podcast on your streaming platform of choice and leave us a review. Like I said at the beginning, the algorithm has no love for the girls. So unless you guys share me and spread the word about me, then it's going to be difficult for me to grow this audience. And I really want more people to be listening to this podcast. I want all of us to be having these great conversations about artists like Nicki and about authenticity, worth, value, and influence. So I've been Blessing Makosha. You can find me on everything as Blessing Makosha, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.